Hello, welcome to My Life on Paper. I am Brianna and I am so glad you are here. I am playing along with May I Scraplift You all the month of May. Today I am scrap lifting Caledonia paper crafts and I just love this layout. Um, I have a picture of my husband and his cousins and his uncle, and they were on a boat. They were on a fishing week. That week is coming up quickly in a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd get last year's scrapped a little bit. I am starting to starting to work on the tags. And I had this piece of paper with fish on it, and I was going to leave it the same size. And I just took this tag that I had in my stash and I was copying the corners of it. And I thought it looked rather rough when it's with the tiny little corners on this big tag. So I will go back in and fix it. But I did find a viewfinder in this lovely green color, so I pulled that out of my stash. It is Nicole Jones 911 printable. This tag that I had stamped, oh my gosh, like it's one of the first things I stamped when I was with Close to My Heart a long time ago. I found this Caution Men at Work sticker. I think that's pretty funny because they were not working at all. They were on a vacation, but I think they would all find that funny. I do cut this tag that I have in half, and I did poke a hole onto the other side, a tag hole, and then I took this other fish paper that I made a tag out of. And here I'm freehanding one side of the tag, and I will flip that over to the other side to get the same angle and everything on the other side, and I am much more happy with that now. I am going to leave it the length, the width that actually the length and the width that I found it. I do make a little pen mark because it gives me a good something to aim at with my crocodile to put a tag hole in it. And then I'm going to start layering things together. Eve is Caledonia Papercraft on Instagram, and I will have her listed below so you can go check her out on Instagram. I loved all of her layouts, but this one just looked fun to me. I think it was the paint, but yeah. So I was quite intrigued, and I don't know if I was kind of challenged, but it looked fun. So I have my tags together now. I am gluing them to the another tag as well as the viewfinder. Then I will get the other tags glued on the other side, and then I will put them aside and work on my paint. Paint I have is from Hobby Lobby. I usually get everything on sale at Hobby Lobby, and so I do have a good range of colors. Maybe not all the colors I'd want, but sometimes you can take two different colors and get a fun third one anyway. So I found several that I thought would work, and I'm going to pull them out here, and then I'm going to kind of rule them out one at a time. The green would have looked very green or very nice. I really was drawn to that dark green there, but I wanted something a little bit contrasting, so I do go with the brown. And I just take a dry brush and have fun with it. And I will, it's not a very big brush. I think Eve probably had a bigger brush. That's okay. It just took me a little bit longer, but I do get paint all around. And then I will bring in that the picture and the tags to keep looking at it to make sure that I have enough paint. And I do think my cluster of photo and tags is bigger than what Eve has, which is totally fine. So I will need a thicker bit of paint. So I don't know if you're a fan of mixed media, but paint is considered mixed media. So is even like fibers, like you would have anything, well, anything really, because it's media that's different. So we've got the paper, right? That's the media. I don't know if a picture is considered a media, but you could consider that too. The paint, like any kind of fibers you use in the tags. And then of course, like sequins, rhinestones, what else would be? Paint is always a good one. Stamps and inks and all that kind of thing. So I do enjoy dabbling. Have to say I've been learning as I go along, and it is kind of freeing that it's just paper and paint. And if you absolutely don't like it, you can either start over, rid of it completely, but you can always, chop this up and use it, in smaller pieces on a different page too. So that's you see in the right in the corner there that just disappeared my what I test my ink on, because I had one that was darker that I thought matched the dark brown that matched this paint, but when I stamped them both off, I liked the look of this lighter. It's not really light brown, but more of a golden brown. It's called Chocolate. It is by Close to My Heart. It's nothing recent, and I still do miss my Close to My Heart. I've been checking out Stamping Up. I have enough supplies to last me for years that I don't need to buy anything, period. But I recently went. Oh, so I'm using a stamped. I believe this is from Amazon, and it's just like a stitched stamp. So I noticed Eve had stitching around her page. I will do some like a running stitch with hand stitching, but I have not yet pulled out a sewing machine and tried this. I do hope to do that in the future, but not at the moment. So I get out my stamp. Oh, I was going to tell you that recently I've gone to we have something around here that happens a couple times a year. It kind of stopped during COVID, but it's like almost like a garage sale for your craft items where a company actually gathers them up. They get a percent, and then you get a check at the end. So I was able to get a whole bunch of Close to My Heart um, stamps through that. So I got to start using my stamps more. Speaking of stamps, I do get a stamp out. It says Go plus C plus Explore, and I was doing like second generation, third generation, well, first generation as well. And then I've got this arrow that I stamped off a couple times. Now I've got a couple of splatters I want to do in a brown color. I think it's, oh boy, the blue color is called Prize Ribbon, and the brown was like probably still here on my desk somewhere, but it was like oh, here it is. I'm going to say something about vintage photo. It is a vintage photo. Look at that. I pulled out some Paper Studio stickers. I've got the fish and it says fishing. I was going to use fishing as my main title. Um, was forgetting about Caution Men at Work. Uh, I will use both of them. And I'm just trimming out some fish. I really like the one on the right hand lower corner. Looks like it's kind of jumping in the air with its mouth open. I've got a bobber there. And I've already put the twine into my tags. I've got a fish for the top. And this little piece, I decided it needed a little spot. So I'm going to use that as kind of a cluster base. And that is a 49 Market arrow. The next thing I pull out, I think, is it's like a ruler. And it is perfect. You wouldn't think it for a fish layout. However, the color is like perfect, and you know how guys like to measure their fish. So I'm going to make two kind of cluster bases. I don't know, two ledges or uh two places to put stuff. So I'm going to fishtail banner the one on the bottom on both sides, and then like it is in the layout that I'm lifting, and then the top one, oh, the top one doesn't get bannered at all. It's just kind of a ledge there, but I thought that was rather clever. I don't know where it's from. It's been in my stash for absolutely forever with my green stuff, and I think this couldn't have been more perfect. Might have to put the rest of the numbers in with the fish stuff instead of the green stuff when it goes back. There is a 49 Market wordy bit that says captured in a photograph. I thought that was pretty perfect. There are quite a few wordy bits on Eve's layout, so I wanted to incorporate that. Those, I believe, is it Bo Bunny stickers? And one says happy, that's on the bottom. And then I'm going to have a little sticker for the top that says yay in that pretty green color as well. I did confirm they are Bo Bunny puffy stickers. So here goes the rest of, oh, not the rest, another part of the tape measure. I'm going to get that title down there of Caution Men at Work. And then I will bring at some point in more Bo Bunny stickers. It's the puffy one sitting off to the right. Oop, I had a problem getting that one kind of straight. No, it's going to bother me. I'll get a fish, I believe, into each cluster, so a fish goes up on top there. It kind of looks like it's being measured. I've got that huge fish that's going on the bottom. You've got like a couple wordy bits going in a row. I decided one of my wordy bits was going to be replaced by a huge fish. So I've got fishing down there. I'm going to put the arrow up on top. Eve does have an arrow, although it's kind of a curvy arrow. I'm going to use my bobber up there. I'm going to use that fishtail banner up there. And then, oh, I'm going to pop up the captured in a photograph on some pop dots because fishing is also popped up already, and so is the fish. You can see those arrows. The green arrows are under Caution Men at Work. Those are from Bo Bunny. And then, oh, there's a yay. And then there's little like round pieces puffy pieces that have a star on them. So I'm going to get, and those are the Bo Bunny. Those are going to go into each one of the clusters. I'm sorry I'm off camera, but I will bring it back in just a minute. There's another fish just nestled below the first fish going the other direction. And I have to say, it's very unusual that I do my splatters before I finish the layout, but because I saw them on Eve's layout, I knew that's what I wanted, so I got them down before all the embellishments. I'm going to finish up this last cluster, and that will complete my layout. Until next time, may your memories always have a home on paper.